All right, it's time for our hot topic. So let's give you the story. A 33-year-old Nigerian lady sent us the story of how she did not grow up with a silver spoon, but she had the luck of meeting men with promising future. She ditched the last man because he left for Kaduna in pursuit of his career goals, dated a few times and even got pregnant twice. But this man ditched her also. Then she met this man, and that was where her woes began. According to her, he looked physically okay, but he started the relationship on lies. Down to where he lived, according to her, it looked like a true definition of poverty. But she was already emotionally attached to him, and that is where her woes continued, because we had mentioned began. She told her pastor about her fears, but he persuaded her not to leave him, saying that he has a bright future. She continued, and for more than 8 years, she paid every single penny, from renting a house to paying school fees to getting a shop for this man who had even embarrassed her by not coming to the wedding introduction with his people after they had picked a date, and she had already single-handedly paid for the event. She has attempted to leave several times, but the guy keeps begging and families get involved. Now, at this juncture, she is totally done and has asked for transfer from work to another state. Her pastor, again, is asking her to stay. She's confused, and it's our advice. What are your thoughts? Join the conversation and call us on 081 0764 1679 or 090 241 63440, or tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag #YourViewOnTVC. She's in dire straits, according to her. What should she do? Should she go along with the man to her new location? Should she leave him? Because her pastor is saying he has a bright future. He is your cross. You have to stick with this man. What do you do? There's also the aspect of, okay, what happens to the 3 children she has for him? And that, is it that the family will reject these children? These are other aspects to the story that we here and there. They're the aspect of these 3 children. If she takes them away from the man, will his family accept them or not? She feels that her children needs a father figure, so to speak, but the man keeps beating her. He keeps taking her drugs. He's refused to work, so to speak, and the pastor keeps insisting this man is the man for you. Oh, yeah. She's waiting for your advice. Okay, Damola is shaking her head. Let's begin with you.
It's such a pathetic story. First of all, if you are watching the narrator, I'm so sorry for your ordeal. I'm so sorry that you had to go through all these despicable things, all in the name of marriage. But first of all, I would want you to flee from that pastor. So it's either the pastor is the weapon fashioned against you, or he just lacks the wisdom that you seek in him. Or maybe your husband has something on him that is making the pastor pitch him to you every time, because there's just something that is clearly dysfunctional there. And then number 2, your transfer is an opportunity for you to flee, to start over again. Please do not think about societal stigma. What would people say? I'm a mother of 3. How would I start all over again? Please choose your happiness first and take this transfer as your jackpot from suffering, because you deserve a second chance, because you're obviously dealing with a narcissist here. He doesn't feel good about himself, so he's taking it out on you. He's making you feel lesser than who you are, because he's not man enough to do all the roles that you have taken as a provider. So please protect your mental health, take your transfer, and start a new life. And while at it, don't now wallow in pity. Take good care of yourself. Let your skin be skinny. Let your body be bodying. Just live a happy life, and I wish you all the best.
But it must be stated that they are not married. He has not paid her dowry, because you mentioned marriage. He has not paid her dowry. when they went for introduction. He didn't show up initially, and she called his brother, and they were laughing, must you force him to marry you, something like that in the first place. But later on, there was an introduction that she spent her own money. She sponsored at the end of the day. And then the aspect of pastors speaking, is there anything wrong with a pastor giving his shepherd, his sheep rather, he's a shepherd, his sheep advice? We have seen pastors who give people advice. Is there anything wrong with that, especially when it comes to choosing life partners? Some persons just perhaps need such guidance, don't you think, Toby?
I think so, and I do not underplay the roles of pastors in our lives today, although there are extreme cases like this one where you clearly know, even within yourself, that this thing is harmful and detrimental to me, but because a pastor has said, a pastor has seen a vision that this person is the person for me, you will stay irrespective of what it is that you face. And for the lady, the first thing that came to my mind when I was reading this was, she's somebody looking for somebody to love her. She had had her experiences of heartbreaks, of people just ditching her. So the one that now decided to even make me just manage you, in quotes, right, is doing all of this. And for some others, it's easy to say, stand up and leave. But looking at the track record of how a lot of people have broken her heart, it's difficult for her. It may be difficult for her to now just take the decision to stand up. And another thing I also wanted to say is that this love matter, we sometimes underestimate it, but we hear severe cases of people saying that love made me do X, Y, Z. And you're like, now the same love I they love now, how come is this deep, right? But we do not understand the experiences that a lot of people have gone through, right? A pastor says stay, and I mean, okay, that's okay. A pastor can say stay, but you, like Oyedamola once said, suffer never tire you. I mean, and you know, there are times when it seems like pastors are giving the advice that they feel is right. You know, for example, Christianity would say that it is okay, you must, I mean, they push the narrative of for better, for worse, right? Whereas if you check through the scriptures yourself, it's not expressly stated there, right? And you can infer things based on the circumstances that you're going through in life at that particular time. Lastly, I'll say, now you know what in your eye they see. There are people that have a larger threshold to withstand pain, to withstand hurt, to withstand abuse. And some people immediately like this, once they sight it, they've moved. So if you know that you can still take it on, stay. But like Oyedamola said, if suffer never tire you, you must still stay.
Her major issue, one of her major issue is her children. Oftentimes, I can't leave my children. And that's the narrative we often hear from people who face abuse, who find themselves in abusive marriages or relationships. I can't leave my children. I have had this number of children. What will happen? And you know how our society is when it comes to you being a single mother. It's not, the society doesn't seem fair to them, Tokwe.
I can't leave my children. I can't leave my children, or your children will leave when you are gone. Oh, I cannot leave my children, but they would live a very good life. They might do 1 minute silence on their wedding day for you, but their life would continue. So I think it's important that we note that part. For those that's their sentiment, I can't leave my children. Know that your children will live without you when you pass on. If stress kills you, if domestic violence kills you, or emotional violence kills you, or life just takes you away, their life would go on. We put that one on one side. 2, you don't need to look for love. The most important love you need is self-love. Love yourself. And for those struggling with the idea of how to love themselves, understand and draw strength from the love of God. Not the love your pastor tells you about. Not the love that people you've seen on social media that people are saying God loves you. The love that you have found from studying the word by yourself, knowing God by yourself. When you know God, if you are a Muslim...
You're just saying it now. When you know, knowledge is key.
So as I said, for those struggling with how to love themselves, then go on that. I mean, for those struggling with love, because for many people, they are from this narrative of this lady, she's looking for love. She wants to be loved. She wants someone that would love her and pamper her and take care of her.
It's not bad.
And it's not a bad thing,
Yes.
but if you are in the search for it, ending up in a revolving circle of bad things, then you should step back and check yourself that I need to love myself. I am deserving. I am deserving of my love. And if the time and money I've invested in this man, if I actually invest it in myself, I probably will be better off than where I am right now. She tells herself the truth. So love yourself, invest that love in yourself. The love you are looking, the way you are checking on him, how is he doing? Has he eaten? Should he eat? Is he sleeping? You too, check on yourself. Have I eaten? Am I sleeping? Am I doing well? Because by the time you love yourself to the point of confidence, you will attract the right man to yourself.
Absolutely.
So where she is, 3 children, we've seen people that marry after 4 children. That a widow in Calabar, I can never forget her story. After 4 children, she remarried a single man who's never been married before, loving her 4 children like his own. She then later gave him 2 extra children. Some people are blessed like that, and I believe this woman is deserving of that blessing if she believes in herself the same way. Finally, pastors that hear from God.
How many times did I call you?
As in, I don't want to even call you too many times on national television. But it is important that you keep, when you give advice as a spiritual guide, you must also ask your people to consult God and reconfirm the word for themselves. So if you have advised, the pastor has advised, I hold the pastor accountable, and I also want to let her know you're 33. You're not a baby anymore. You're a full-grown adult. If a human being is telling you to enter into a ditch, and you walk into it, you can't blame that human being because you have your own 2 eyes. And you can see it's a ditch and it might hurt you. So this lady should take the pastor's word, but also understand that she is a prophet to herself, pray over herself, and step out into the arms of God that she believes in. Instead of listening to the pastors, sometimes pastors will tell you, wait. Like in the case of Acrimony, when you watch that movie, imagine if a pastor told her to wait, and she should wait, and she should wait. She will feel like, I should move on. And sometimes you not feel like when you move on, the man now blew. Your destinies did not align.
In fact, one of the guys she dated that she left because he moved to Kaduna. Eventually blew. Yes, now he went to Canada and
your destinies did not align. So don't think a man is the solution to your problem.
Yes, you must understand yourself.
Just because I know the woman is watching, if not that I've given it to Agbas Boost. I'm just being nice.
She said that you should not criticize her too much. That she knows that she has messed up.
Yes,
Please.
she agreed. Yes. Now she has agreed that she messed up, which is a good place to begin from. Yes, Toby, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I wanted to just buttress what she said, but she had already expressed it in a different way. And that's
absolutely. Now, this is what I want to say. Beginning with the lady, right? You mentioned something about you didn't grow up with a silver spoon. A majority of us did not grow up with a silver spoon, right? But somehow we were guided to get to where we are now. So it is not about your background. It is about the fact that you can decide to write your story differently. Yes, the place you are might influence you, but you can decide that this place that I found myself, how is it helping me? How is it building me to becoming better, such that my children will benefit from me in the future, and I can also reap from the labor that I have expended upon my children. Yes, society, the patriarchy in our society is not friendly towards some of these things. When you talk about single mothers and the fact that you have this number of children, the man also is not helping you. Her mind has been bastardized. The man keeps calling her names, unprintable names that I do not want to mention here. He goes through her phone.
Emotional abuse.
So that emotional abuse, I think we need to touch on that. The emotional abuse that she has gone through, which has not helped her. In fact, she left at some point. But she did not get the help she needed because she said these shelters, they were asking her to pay money. She paid, and they were telling her to come back. They would sort her, they would do this, they would do that. Talking about homes where you keep some people. Talking about if you are facing domestic abuse, we have that shelter in Lagos.
We have a few of them.
We have a few of them across states.
Human rights.
Yes, human rights
Yeah.
who look into these matters. I think we also need to talk about that they kept asking her to come back. She paid, I think, about 20,000 naira, and they kept asking her to come back. And because she did not get what she wanted, she had to go back to this man. And then he kept abusing her, calling her unprintable names, calling her children unprintable names as well. And then,
doubting the paternity.
yes, he was doubting the paternity of the children. It's just a sad one. So her mind has been bastardized as it is. She needs to even begin from how to pick up, how to pick up from the place of the mind.
I love talking about the mind. The mind is powerful. On my website, the first thing you see is the human mind is limitless, because that is the truth. Our human mind is limitless, and you must protect this thing called your mind, because your mind, it shapes how you feel. And anybody that is polluting your mind is polluting your life, is polluting your identity.
Absolutely.
And I feel that the pollution has been in her life from a very long time. It's not
From
just
when she was born.
It was from when she was born, because that's why she keeps attracting people that fall into this category. It's why she's attracting a pastor who is telling her to stay in an abusive relationship. It is why the man will feel she's deserving of you throwing those words. Some people will hear, they would be in that relationship, a man will throw one negative word at them. They would immediately cut the man like, hello? You can vex any vex in this world. Never, ever use emotional drama or emotional bad language on me. This is where we are fighting. Our fighting ends here.
All right. We have Gabriel on the line calling from Abuja. Gabriel, good morning. Go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, good morning, ma.
Morning.
My own is that lady supposed to have lived the marriage, because she would have used the reference of things that have happened to people. Then let's look at the case of Osinachi, that lost her life in the case of pastors thinking about the position in church or one thing or the other. So the pastor is not supposed to have told her hostage. If she realized that she cannot be able to be on the marriage, or the marriage is not good for her, she can better walk away and find and build a good life. The husband is the head of the family, not her being the head. So if she realizes that she's the head of the family that she's living, that means she's not capable to be in that, she's not worthy to be in that marriage. She has to be in a place that someone will take care of her, not her taking care of a man. She has used to sure that her children are fine. So if she realized that she fell into a man that was not on her custody, the Bible still recommends it when you find something that is not good in the marriage, you can quickly leave that marriage and then move ahead. It is not, the Bible said it that it is still right for, the only thing that a man can leave a marriage is an abusive or uncultivated character. That means the man is not playing his own rules as the head of the house and maybe abusing the woman in another custody. And before you know it, now a case will come out now for domestic violence. So before this domestic violence, I'd advise the lady should peacefully walk away in that marriage, move ahead with her life, and then be giving attention to her children, then for her to be able to have a self-time living. It will be very, very wrong for her to say, because of my children or because of what people will say. Nobody will say, nobody is following you to 6 feet. As long as she has gone, he has gone. Other people that such thing has happened to, they have gone on their own. So it's better not for her to.
Sorry, Gabriel, that part was very important for you to hammer on. Unfortunately, network just took it there. But he has said a lot. Jabola, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I would, talking about hammering, you know, I like to hammer on things.
Carpenter.
So I want to say marrying a man that is not financially stable is a huge red flag.
How do you mean?
It is a huge red flag. If you can see his potential and you have time to wait, please wait. Let that potential begin to bring some light at the end of the tunnel before you finally settle. I know there are exceptions to the rules, to this rule, but then there are situations, a lot of situations where we've heard women being the breadwinner and then the men feel uncomfortable.
Is there anything wrong with that?
So the way the society is designed, men are designed to be the breadwinner. You cannot, as a woman, you cannot be feeding your husband, just like the last caller said. And if the man does not get the opportunity to actually be the man in the relationship, he would rather resort to emotional abuse, like what we've seen this man do to her, because this man is trying to beat her down, because he doesn't have anything to lay claims to that manhood. He doesn't have anything to bring to the table. So he would rather reduce her, emotionally break her, such that he would feel better about himself, that, okay, at least
I'm the man here.
I'm the man here. So that thing is a huge red flag. And I think women should pay attention to it. If you have time, if you're in your 20s, yeah, you say that, okay, this man is hardworking, he has the potential. Please wait, study that potential. Let that potential yield results before you eventually settle. Because money is important in every relationship, in a marriage.
Okay.
Love is not blind, though. Love can see. So please.
Money will open your eye.
And exactly, and love will not pay the
Poverty will
bills.
open the eye.
Love
when
will
love
not
is
pay
blind.
the bills. Exactly. You
Poverty
have
will open the
rent,
eye.
you have electricity, you have school fees. Love is not enough.
All right.
Please.
We have a caller, Samuel from Okeodo. Samuel, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. For my own start is that for that first time, the man is not her husband.
Could you speak up, please?
Yes, I said the man is not her husband. If he is her husband, this problem will not come up. And the mistake I've already made, for me, I have a sister-in-law that such a thing happened to. But now, I advise the lady, you are the one that the boy is in your court. Play it very well. I will not tell you to leave. I use parable for her. I will not tell her to leave or to stay. If you love your life, know what to do. And if the woman loves the children, if she's capable to take care of the children, let her take the children away from the man and take care of them. If she's capable to do that, to make sure the children grown up in a godly way.
Thank you, Samuel, for your contribution.
She's
yes.
not paying rent and doing all of these things. So she has it.
Toby, you wanted to say something.
Speaking of children, the caller highlighted a point about children, and that's something I wanted to speak about. Most times, we hear women especially say, I can't live because of my children. But when you see that you're in that and making your children experience such abuse, such talking down on you, it does something to their psyche. Yeah. One, to make them think that women are not anything of worth in the actual sense. They're supposed to be trampled upon. They're supposed to be spoken harshly to. And you don't want to raise that kind of children that would not value the worth of the woman. Or, in another case, now repeating the same thing that their father was doing to you because they don't have better examples around them. Yes, so it's important sometimes when you think about your children, think about the long-term effect
of the abuse on them. Now, Damola, I'm coming back to you. You mentioned something. Yes, talking about money. It's, you know, sometimes the man has down times and the woman has to step in because it's more, in a marriage, it's more of we are together, be it in the good times or in the bad times. And so if he's having a downtime financially, the woman can step in. If she's capable, even when she's not capable, they scramble whatever it is they have, because at the end of the day, it is us against the situation at hand at the end of the day. Now, when a man is seeking to trample on you because you have money, then he is immature. He does not understand what it is. When your woman is financially buoyant, you should be proud that your wife is doing so well. You should be proud. Beat your chest. That is my wife. She is doing well in whatever business or endeavor she is in that is giving her so much. And so you should stand tall and say, she is my wife. She feeds you, so what? She clothes you, Is there anything bad there? Are you the man or not? Has your gender changed? What defines a man even in the first place? What makes you a man? Yes, the scripture talks about the man taking care of the home and all of it, but there are times where you as a man, there are down times and the woman can step in. And then you begin to ensure that you are not relaxed. Oh, because she's doing this. You begin to look at ways of improving on yourself.
You're talking. She balanced it already. She balanced it. Because it's important. There are different categories. She balanced it because she said that when you are in your 20s, you can if you're marrying somebody that is young, there's room for. But if you marry somebody that is in their 40s, you know what they say? The fool at 40 is like they say a fool forever. Not necessarily a fact, but it's a saying. So she balanced it to say that as you have gotten older, you must be more versed about reality. When I am coaching or advising mentees that are single and they want to get married, I ask, what is he doing? What skills does he have? Because I am able to see what love has blinded her to see before poverty will open her eyes in marriage. Because love can be blind before you marry. Few years into the marriage, poverty will open your eyes.
Does money guarantee peace in the marriage, or does it guarantee that? Does it guarantee? What does it guarantee? And we'll come back to this matter. Emmanuel is calling from Owerri. Emmanuel, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, my sister. I appreciate what people are doing there. It's really wonderful because at a time like this, a lot of families are mourning. Understand? So a lot of families have these issues. But I also want to say this issue does not relate only to women. There could be abuse on men, there could be abuse on women. It's not good either way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but I want to say, the lady on Native, I don't know her name actually.
Damola.
Yeah. Damola. I appreciate what she was saying because everything is borders on the mind of a human being. You understand? I don't want to believe that money makes marriage. What we need in marriage is potentials. You understand? If a man has the potential, he may not have money at the point in time. Some people left their husband and a month after, 2 months after, the man hit big money. It happens in life. So what I'm saying here, you have a conscience. You know what you want out of life. If there's battery in your marriage, if there's violence, domestic violence, you don't wait for any pastor or any man to tell you what to do.
Emmanuel. Oh, all right. We need to go on a commercial break. When we return, we'll continue our conversation. Stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. We're still looking at our hot topic. In the next few minutes, we'll be wrapping it up. And I asked a question earlier that, does money guarantee love, understanding, peace, unity in that relationship or marriage? Because we're saying love is money is important, this and all of that. Right.
Love, nothing guarantees a happy marriage. Money does not guarantee happy marriage. Love does not guarantee happy marriage. But at least money will guarantee something. You are not suffering physical discomfort. So there's a guarantee with money.
Who says? You could be depressed. You have the money there. Physical. Haven't you seen people? I qualified
it, Veronica. I said, money guarantees that you will not suffer physical discomfort because you might still cry of the depression, but you will cry it in a private jet, in business class. You will clean your eye with dollar. It's a different kind of cry. I married purely for love. I married prospect. He saw prospect. We thank God that our prospect is prospecting.
Absolutely.
So I'm all for marrying prospects. But after being through marriage and seeing my husband spoil me with gifts and money, I realized that money makes love sweeter. And I've said it several times on the show before. Truly, money makes love sweeter, and we shouldn't discount it in terms of...
No, we are not saying we are discounting. I'm saying money.
Open and she qualified it. She actually gave a very balanced statement. I would dislike for anybody online to listen to a first part of what she said and not listen to the last part and summarize what she said, because she said, yes, don't be so blind to the need for money. And there are ages, there are times that you can make gambles about this thing. You can be young and gamble with trying different work experience. When you get to 50, you shouldn't be trying different things at that point, because you should have come to know yourself enough to know what you like and what you don't like. So let's be open to that conversation. But I'd like to hear wedding anniversary, 60th wedding anniversary perspective on this love and money thing. I beg.
You mentioned that nothing guarantees marriage. I think that there's something that guarantees marriage.
Good.
And it is two people continuously deciding to choose each other.
Absolutely.
Commitments.
Right? Commitments. And because there is instances, things would happen. Money issues, it will come. Love issues come.
Challenges here and there.
At your husband to come, right? But the decision to constantly say that I want this person, I choose this person.
That's it.
Is very, very important in this marriage conversation that we speak about.
Very important. And you want to say something quickly?
And I just wanted to continue her thoughts. And in choosing to be with that person, ensure that that person is also choosing to be with you. They are not abusing you. You are not. Yes, ensure that it is not one-sided. That both of you are choosing each other. Both of you are making conscious efforts, to achieve the marriage goals that both of you have set. But in this woman's case, for example, I would not advise her to continue choosing this man that has rubbished her,
Absolutely
brought
not.
down her self-esteem. So I wish,
Except two people
I think we are wishing them all the best, Abi, on this table.
Wishing her.
Ha, exactly.
Her, the best. And
Conclusion, please. Just
yes.
help us sum it up, everything that we have said.
Of course, that's where I am headed because you have given a balanced perspective to this aspect. But I will begin with the aspect of the pastor. I tell people, know God for yourself. Because it is important that whatever decision you're taking, you are responsible and that you know that, okay, this decision I am taking, it is not based on this person said this or that, because you are the one that will feel the pinch, not the pastor or whoever that gave you the advice. So know God for yourself so that whatever decision you are taking, it is guided by that knowledge that you have of him. And then the matter of marriage and all of that, you should know what you want in marriage. It is critical. Then you can have a conversation with whoever you want to get married to. Because if you have no idea of what it is you want, a departure from, maybe you want a departure from what you saw with what your parents had, you must have that conversation. There are people who have come out of abusive marriages that had, abusive homes that had good marriages. It's very important. They decided that they do not want to have that kind of relationship in their marriage. And so they built on it. It's work. Oh. If you want to get the best out of your relationship, your marriage, you have to put in the work deliberately to ensure that it works. Know your partner, know yourself, and then you can build on your prospects, help each other grow. It's also important. Yeah. There are people who see their partners as their competitors. That's not a good one. Absolutely. Work on yourselves to see that you help the other person grow in whatever business or endeavor they are in. At the end of the day, it's about two of you. You both are going to enjoy whatever businesses you are doing.
Beautifully said.
Thank you for this.
All right, we'll go on a short break. When we return, would... oh, we have a phone call. Right. Bumi? Okay, Bumi is calling from Ibadan. Go ahead with your contribution, Bumi.
Good morning, Bumi.
Bumi? Good morning. Please, could you speak up?
This is my second time. Yeah, this is my second time calling on your view.
Don't clap for second time.
This is This is a very important topic that we are talking about. We've had, I'm a pastor, and we've had various, instances on this. What I would say, I know that you are just being careful to tell the lady to leave or not to leave. But what I will say is this. She should go to whether she's a Muslim or a Christian or whatever, let her pray, and then that's one. Then two, just as one of you said, I can't remember who said it, the children are so important in this marriage. It is either this relationship makes the children or not the children. And I'm sure they are very young. Let them move on in life. It's these single mothers that take care of their children, and they don't even get married again. There are a lot of people, they take care of it, and the children grow up, and they do so well. And the issue why this man is abusing her is because she's working, she's taking care of the home. The man is not bringing anything, he's not doing anything. And people from outside will be telling the man, I should be the one that is taking that. That one will just make the man to come home and be abusing her because he's not having anything. A man that doesn't have anything, doesn't have anything to give you. So the best thing for you is to move on and take care of your kids. You're not even moving on to look for another man. That's not even the issue, my sister. The issue here is for her. So move on and take care of these kids so that they will not grow up. If she has a boy there, the boy will grow up and say, that's how my father used to give my mother. So that means it's the right thing to do. If she has a girl, the girl will say, oh, okay, I don't think I can marry. And that's why you see nowadays, these Gen Z children, they will tell you they don't want to marry. Why? It's because of all this. Yeah. That is the main thing. They will tell you, why don't you want to marry? No, I don't want this. I can see this person, I can see this person. And I know that as she's watching, I know that.
Yeah, Bumi, unfortunately, but we've gotten, the kernel of your statement, talking about it's important for her to take care of herself first. She needs to unburden everything that she has had, clear her mind to know how she moves forward with this matter.